Guys, Dakotah's in here.
It's not $7.
No.
Oh.
No.
What's good?
What's good?
What's up, y'all?
Not much. We're just chilling. We just got in here, and I think we're still waiting on a lot of like other people to come in and hang out.
Oh, that's cool. I don't
Yeah.
mind. I don't care who's hey, I don't care who's here.
Well, right now it's just us.
That's cool.
Who you see is here.
What's up, y'all? How are y'all doing?
These are my best friends. They are my ride or dies.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So how's life?
Not too bad. I got to sing for an elementary school today. That was kind of crazy.
What did you sing? That's awesome.
Well, I did Community Rocks. It's like a thing in the town that I'm from, Minot, North Dakota. They do like benefits and stuff with the Minot Symphony Orchestra. So I did that event with them probably like last month or whatever. But I did All the Small Things by Blink-182. So they went to this elementary school, and it was like School Rocks or something like that. So they had me come and sing, but it was really cool because my two godsons go to that elementary school, and they were like, "Why are you here?" It was great.
Don't mind me. I'm just performing.
Yeah, it was awesome. I just got to do one song and then leave, but it was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
I know you're on tour right now.
I am.
Where's your next dates at? So people coming through can kind of get a feel where they can see you.
Well, tomorrow I'm in Minneapolis, and I'm doing two different shows. I have a show tomorrow at the Ice House, and then on Sunday it's a festival. I forget. It's like a Jamaican restaurant. I forget what it's called, but this is the first time I've been in Minneapolis doing shows in a minute for like a couple years, actually. So it's awesome to be back because I'm from North Dakota, so. The biggest like metro area that we have, especially for hip hop, is Minneapolis, St. Paul. So that's the place to be.
That's awesome. Well, I'm super proud of you. I've seen you grow just over the past few months.
I know.
It's crazy. Like insane.
I know. I really appreciate.
You're welcome. I had a couple questions. I don't know if since it's just us in here, if the girls have any questions too.
Ask away. I don't care. I'm hanging out. We're all hanging out right now.
Absolutely. I guess one of my biggest ones is where does your music inspiration come from?
Probably a lot of things. I think the people I grew up that I first started making music with heavily influenced me. Of course, those were the guys the older guys that were kind of my OGs, I guess you could say. Those were the guys I kind of emulated a lot of. But I generally. I try to not listen to a lot of rap when I get inspiration for it. I listen to a lot of different other genres of music.
Yeah.
I don't really like listening. I do listen to rap. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge rap fan. Of course I do. But I think other genres I kind of been picking and choosing a little bit more for my songwriting and stuff a lot more than I have the rap side. But I don't know. I think just everything I grew up listening to. I think that's where I got a lot of my inspiration for my writing style. I know when I was younger, like 50 Cent was my favorite rapper of all time.
Oh, man.
He couldn't tell me no different. I remember my mom let me skip school to go see Get Rich or Die Trying the movie, and it would like change my life. I was like, this is the coolest dude ever. That's all I wanted to do was rap.
I think, Nicole, that's one of your favorites too, right? That's what we've talked about one time was 50 Cent. Yes, love them.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you guys have any questions? You can come off of mute if you want. Oh, I didn't know if you had a question, Billary. I'm sorry.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I'm in a parking lot. I got pulled into a family dinner I didn't know I needed to go to. So
Nice. That's always fun.
Yeah, tons of fun. So Kirsten kind of stole my question, so I'm going to my backup. So you write your own songs, right?
Of course.
Do you write all your own songs?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think in rap it's like a huge no to have other people write for you.
Right.
But I've always just wrote my own stuff for sure.
That's awesome. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, not to say I haven't collaborated with other artists in a studio setting and somebody's like, yo, you should do it like this or something. But as far as like writing my lyrics and stuff, I don't think I've ever had anybody else write for me before. Not that I would be opposed to it either, per se, but that's just kind of my style.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
That was a good question. Good question.
You always got to have a backup, right?
Did you ever have a backup career? If like, you know how a lot of artists will be like, oh, if this don't work out.
No, I'm not really good at anything else. This is it. This is all I got. I started very young, though. I started very young, so I think I've always had this sort of tunnel vision when it comes to being a musician.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that I like to do. I know that, I mean, I do enjoy other things, but like, I'm very passionate about making music, and I always have been. So I don't have a backup plan. I think, some people, different people have different scenarios. Some people should have a backup plan. For me, I think it keeps me very motivated and always looking forward to the next thing. If I feel like I have no other option, this is all I got to do.
Yeah, and you just dropped a new song. I do want to let people know that. You dropped a new song. It was the collab that you did. If you want to tell us about that song real quick.
Yeah, so it's actually a collab with, are you talking about I Need It? Dude, I've been dropping a lot of collaborative songs lately.
I probably should have been more specific.
But I dropped a song with the guy that I'm on tour with, Sean Anonymous. It's called I Need It. It's a really, really dope song. It really was the catalyst for doing this entire tour. Sean Anonymous is a pretty big, well-known name in the Minnesota music scene. He's worked with artists like Lizzo and POS and tons of amazing artists. So he's always been someone that I've looked up to over the years. And, I was finally getting a buzz and getting a name, and he hit me up and wanted to do a track. And so we made that one, I Need It. And it slowly evolved into, hey, I want to come out to North Dakota. Can you get me a show in Fargo? And, hey, I can get you a show in Minneapolis. And then it was like, 10 dates later, we're like, oh, shit, we got a tour. And I've literally never met this guy in person until the first show that we did of tour a few weeks ago. I never met this guy ever. And now we have a song, and it just got played on Minneapolis radio last week, which was sick. And he's been super cool. He's been awesome, person to kind of be a sponge and learn from. And so super lucky to have a song with him. So I Need It. If you want to listen to it, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's awesome. And real quick, where can everybody stream your music?
Everywhere. I'm one of those artists that I put my music on every little small niche website as well as the big ones. So Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, SoundCloud. You know what I mean? Pretty much anywhere you can find music, I will be on there. I promise you.
Love that.
Thank you.
Sunday, did you have a question? This is so our amazing graphic that was made.
Incredible.
This is Sunday.
Nice to meet you. Pleasure.
She's also from Dakota, I think, if you want to tell them.
Oh, no, I'm not from North Dakota. My family was military, so we lived in Grand Forks for a while.
Oh, nice. Yep. Minot is the other Air Force base that's in North Dakota. That's where I'm from. So that's the one that a lot of people in the Air Force hate getting the news that they're going to Minot. So I've heard all that shit for sure.
Yes. We were in Grand Forks for 3.5 years, I do believe. Yeah. I hate snow. Can't stand snow. It's pretty to look at.
Wrong place, yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
I love it when it's falling, but I can't stand it.
It's about, you get about a good couple weeks and then it gets unbearable. But when you grew up here, it's not so bad, I suppose. You don't even think about it.
The negative, I had never experienced negative temperatures until we moved up there.
You go from not experience negative to Antarctic levels of negative. We get to negative 50 sometimes with the wind chill. It is crazy up here.
I remember, we lived on base, and I remember them sending out freeze warnings saying not to take a shower in the morning, because if you took a shower in the morning, the moisture, you would walk outside and your hair would freeze.
Oh, for sure. What? You could get frostbite in minutes.
Don't wear jewelry because the jewelry would make your it would increase the the frostbite or whatever, like earrings
sure.
and necklaces. Yep. It was
What do you
crazy.
do? Do you take them out? I mean, like, what do you put them on in the car?
Yep.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, I've never experienced that. I wouldn't know, but like,
It seems so crazy to other people, but I forget that I've just lived here my entire life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh wow, yeah, it is pretty wild. It's the wind that's really bad. We're so flat that we
there's no trees.
the wind chill. It'll be negative 20 degrees, but with the wind chill, it's like negative 50. Like it drops it so much because you got no coverage. You're just out there in the shit.
Yeah, and then you'll see like little rows where people have built like tree barriers to try to block out the wind.
Yeah, for sure. People like if you're building like a property out of town, you gotta have like a tree line or something.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a whole nother country over there a little bit.
It's we call it South Canada. That's what it is.
Yep. I got to go to Canada when I lived up there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, Winnipeg's just a hop, skip, and a jump from Grand Forks.
That's where we went, was Winnipeg. It was a school trip, so yeah, it was a pretty good experience.
It's an experience. Yeah, that's what the word is. It was an experience. Yeah, but that's North Dakota.
Yeah.
I'll stay for them that little bit.
Yeah.
It gets cold, but not that cold.
Yeah. Then we went from North Dakota and we moved to Texas.
Oh wow. Yeah,
So
that's
we
a
went from
completely
one
different.
extreme to the end.
That's crazy. Yeah, for sure.
Is that where is Dakota your name, or is that inspired by anything?
No, Dakotah Faye is my real name. I'm
That's
Native
your real
American, so Dakota is Native American, so that's why.
That's awesome.
That's why it's my name.
I saw in one of the videos that I watched, a lot of your inspiration does come from your heritage. Do you care to speak on anything like that? Is that?
Well, I think, I mean, it's just a part of who I am. As far as, I try to represent my people every chance that I can get, because in a lot of parts of the other country, you wouldn't meet a Native American, you know what I mean? There's only certain parts of the country where we're prominent, and a lot of people, only hear stuff about what you hear in social studies or whatever it is. So, up here, it's so intertwined with our culture because we have so many reservations and so many different tribes in North Dakota. You're around it all the time, but you kind of forget that everywhere else in the country kind of forgets that you exist a little bit. So try to represent my people anytime that I can, you know what I mean?
That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is. I love that.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Is there any, did you guys have any other questions real quick that you guys want to ask Dakotah?
So, did you always know that you wanted to do music? Was that something that you found early on, or?
I mean, it was pretty early on. I didn't really know. I mean, I was a really I'm an only child and very introverted person. So being a rapper in this kind of extroverted career is kind of a weird choice. It's not something I knew I was going to do. I kind of fell into it. I wrote a lot of poetry and stuff as like a little angsty kid when I was younger, but my good friend of mine, Eddie Mack, who I still rap with and who's still like my brother, and he was from Milwaukee and he had kind of rapped before he moved to Minot. So when we met, he kind of was rapping still, and one day he was like, I got this song I wanted to do, and he asked me to do it. And I always liked rap music and stuff because, that was what I listened to when I was younger, but I never imagined rapping. And I was like, all right, I'll try it out. And just instantly fell in love with it. Just the expression. And it was so much fun. It was really cool to be able to express myself and kind of feel cool, for someone that was really insecure about myself at, whatever I was, 13, 14 years old. It was like a breath of fresh air, I think. So I was, after that point, I did it every day and I haven't stopped. So it wasn't something I knew I was going to do, but once I did it, that was all I thought about.
Did you ever think, looking back at where you've kind of started with your music, did you ever think it would be at this level? Or did you ever think, man, if I could just get to that level, what would I be like? What would it have? You know, like, how has your life changed, I guess?
I think for sure there was a part of me that I you, I always say that I was very insecure, but rap made me confident. And once I did it, and once other people were like, "Yo, you're pretty good at this," I thought, well, why can't I take this to the apex? You know what I mean? Take it as far as I can. And so I've always had this confidence. At the same time, I've always had this insecurity about myself too, where I'm like, it being an independent musician every day is like something new. Like you feel the highest of highs, and something cool happens, and then the next day you're like, why am I doing this? I need to go do something else with my life.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of like the up and down with it. But um, I think every day is just getting a little bit and a little bit better. I think that's the main focus that I have every day of how I attack this career choice is, am I improving even an inch or a centimeter every single day? If I'm heading in the right direction, then eventually I'll get to where I want to go. But I feel like I've already crossed a lot of things off my bucket list per se that I had when it comes to music stuff. So to just keep adding more stuff and then crossing it off is a good feeling. So yeah, I feel like I could take it to wherever I want to, just manifest it, I suppose. Yeah.
And when you get there, we're gonna be like, "That's our friend. That's
what
our
I'm talking
friend."
about. I'll be like, they knew before all y'all.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Let me see. I had some questions, but I feel like we've answered a lot of them.
It's okay.
So we're just kind of chilling and vibing. Let me see here. So 10 months ago, you did an album called Hell Was Boring. Do we have a new album in the works? Do we have something coming? Do we need music?
Well, honestly, I have a couple of albums that are done. I don't know if what I'm waiting on. This is what happens with me is like I'll start a project and then it'll get to a point and I'm like, oh, that's really good. And then the next day I'll make a song and I'm like, ooh, shit, that fits on there too. And then it's like, and then I keep adding and adding and I'm never actually done. So I need, my guys to be like, yo, it's done. Yeah. Release it or it'll never be done. But I do have an album done. I'm shooting the album cover for it at some point in the next couple weeks, and the album's already done. So then after that, I'm just gonna focus on getting music videos shot, everything ready for release per se. But I'll have another album hopefully next couple months, something like that. But if it takes too long, I'll keep releasing more singles just to kind of, fill the void.
You just gotta keep giving us something to sing to.
The people.
Teasers, something.
Right.
For us to make TikToks with.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll do something like that too, where I'll drop teasers. I've already kind of been playing some of the stuff off the new album on tour just to kind of test the waters. So that's where I like to test music before I release it. Is I'll play a ton of unreleased stuff at shows, stuff that like maybe one person heard at a show and then I never release it and you'll never hear it again. That's just the beauty of coming to shows. You never know what I'm gonna play.
We'll have to get you over here on the East Coast so we can all plan up and make a trip and come see you perform.
I would love to. That's the one area of the United States I have never played in. I played in the South, I played in the West Coast, all over the Midwest, but Northeast I've never been up that way ever. Not even like to visit. I've been in JFK one time, I think. That was it. So I've never really been up to the Northeast, so it would be awesome to be up there. I got tons of homies and connects up there, so I'll try to make something shake.
Yeah, that would be dope. I would love that. We could all meet up and go to a Dakotah Faye show.
That would be dope. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, this group, we're some concert goers. We are
really
these four right here. Oh yeah, we all got tour dates this year for Jelly. There's some Jeff C. Murph in here. We're building the list as we go. We're just picking them up along the way.
That's always awesome to have like a group of friends that's down to go to every show like that too, because it's hard to find people that are consistently down to just, hey, let's go to this huge concert.
It very much is. Very, very much.
Yeah, and Jelly Roll, I don't know if you've seen him before. He just, dude, yeah, they're the best. And especially with your friends.
My internet shit.
Those dang internet.
But yeah, if you've never seen Jelly Roll, you'll be excited. He just sold out the North Dakota State Fair not too long ago. That was sick seeing him. He was really good. He was really good. We don't ever get nobody up here too, and that was a big deal.
They're like, there's somebody coming.
Yeah, we don't get shit up here. Nobody wants to fucking travel in the negative 50-degree weather. So,
well, when you get big, then you can be like, hey, I still go. Okay, you guys, come on, get over here.
Right. I know. I'm gonna start a festival and make all the cool artists come here.
That's right. You have to get MGK and all of them.
He just played the North Dakota State Fair this year too.
Did he?
He did.
Yeah, I can't wait for Jelly Roll.
That was actually the first like big show I ever did 10 years ago. I opened for MGK. It was a Halloween show. Dude, it was incredible. This is when I first started doing like shows and stuff. I was 18, 19, something like that. Like definitely did not deserve to be on that stage, but somehow worked my way up there. And yeah, that was like the biggest show I had played at that time. It was like a couple thousand or something like that. And I'm sure we were terrible, but it was a dope experience. And I never got to talk to MGK, but he was backstage skateboarding and shit back then. But
so did they just come up to you and they're like, hey, we have a spot open. Do you want to fill it? Or
well, so we only have like one big promoter company called Jade Presents in North Dakota. And back then we had worked with them a couple months before. Bone Thugs and Harmony came to Minot, I think, and we opened on that, and we sold a lot of tickets, so we made it like a good name with Jade Presents. So when that next show came up, they were like, "Yo, you guys want to do it?" Even though it was in a different city than where, So it was a huge layup for a bunch of kids that probably didn't deserve it, but it was a dope memory. And I remember after that, because it was Halloween, so me and Eddie went to all these house parties afterwards, and everybody's like, yo, y'all were the ones on MGK. Dude, it was nobody knew what our name was, but they knew who we were. So we were like the cool guys, but they were all like, what's your name?
Yeah, those are the guys that were with MGK. There's somebody now.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
There's somebody.
And then 10 years later, he shared my open verse challenge, which was cool.
That was dope. And then Mod Son.
Yeah, that too.
I'm telling you, your music's fire. You're really going off the rails now. Like the next 10 years, listen, I'm already putting it in the air. You're going to be one of the biggest rap artists in the game.
Well, thank you.
Hands down. That's going to be you. And you're going to be just moving mountains of all your dreams and goals.
Thank you. That means a lot. My other friend this week said 2 years. So I got a time clock crunching down. I better start working.
Go with 2 years. I like that better. Yeah, 2 years.
Hey, I do well with pressure, so let's do it.
Yeah.
I hope you're both wrong and it's a year. I hope it's tomorrow.
You know what? Prove us wrong. Prove us wrong.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, the open verses. You had Mod Son, right? He reposted.
Yeah, he did.
And then we also had MGK, you had Mod Son. I feel like I'm missing. Is it Ave?
Yeah, I did that one too.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's cool that bigger artists. I think the whole TikTok like artist thing is pretty cool. Like, being someone that started probably about 15 years ago when all there was like MySpace as far as like social apps where you could share your music. Like TikTok is crazy for just anybody can go viral at any moment off any video. It's pretty insane. It's a pretty powerful tool. And I think, even though these bigger artists, I think sometimes doing the open verse challenges are just more of a way to promote their song, which is cool, but they still give back to the artists that are, doing stuff over their songs and sharing them, which can mean a lot to an artist that maybe was thinking about giving up. MGK shares their stuff and they're like, well, I could never quit now. You know what I mean? So I think it's a really cool tool. And I think it's dope that bigger artists, give these smaller artists a little shine.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's a great platform for independent artists, period, because it's like
Indeed.
You have to have, I've learned with learning more about the music industry and how independent artists have to kind of work and run. I see that you have to really have the backing behind you. And that's sometimes the barrier.
Indeed.
You don't have enough promotion to push it out because some of the other artists who maybe have that backing are, I don't want to say signed, but they're where they're at in their success, and they've earned that rightfully, but they have more of that promotional standpoint. So I love the fact that these platforms allow all the independent artists to kind of shine and not have to put in $100,000 into promotion just for a video.
Right. Right. It could be anything for free. Just videotape yourself on your phone and edit it up a little bit and post it on the internet, and boom, you got thousands of new fans instantly. It's crazy. And the artists that aren't taking advantage of that are very missing out.
They're terribly missing out. If they end up seeing any of these clips, please let them know to just keep pushing. Absolutely.
You never know when that next video might be the one. TikTok is like the biggest platform I've grown on. I don't have any of my other socials are over 10,000, and I really started going hard on TikTok maybe 2 years ago, and I'm already at like 14,000 almost. It's crazy. It's crazy how fast you can grow on this app if you really are just consistent with making content and videos and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, and just being realistic and throwing yourself out there a little bit and just
don't be afraid to. People are if you're scared to get called mid by an 8-year-old on the internet, this is not the profession for you, because it'll happen every day of your life. I get called trash 3 times a day on social media, so you gotta roll with the punches sometimes. Doesn't matter how big you are, people are going to hate you. That's just the way it is.
And sometimes they're not going to like you just because you are you, and sometimes they're going to like you just because you are you. It's so confusing how it flip-flops sometimes. There's no need to even try and keep up with it.
No, not at all. No. The more you question it, the more you'll go crazy, and I think it'll sway just how you maybe you do stop, or maybe you just start writing music or doing content for the wrong reasons. It's like, always do what you like.
Yeah.
I think other people will reciprocate to that more than if you're forcing it or trying to do something that clearly is not you.
True that. That's so true. That's so true.
For sure.
You said something a second ago. Yeah, you said something a second ago that I thought was awesome about like MGK and everybody sharing their music and helping other creators, but you're doing that same thing. Do you realize that, right? You're doing that same thing for like people like us,
Well, you got to pay it forward, I always believe that you got to pay it forward. And I was actually doing a series earlier this year on North Dakota artists, which really got me a lot of exposure on this app especially in my state, in my area. But I just thought it was a perfect opportunity to kind of, highlight artists from North Dakota, because, most people don't even know we exist up here. So it's like, we have tons of amazing, incredible artists from here, and they deserve to shine just as much as I do. And I think any good thing is worth paying it forward to somebody else. And that's only going to bring, good karma and good energy your way too. So it's a lot easier to be positive than negative.
Absolutely.
So true. I wish everybody thought that way, like
me too.
We'd have such a better world.
I agree.
Yes. I know. Love that. Yeah, Nicole. Do you guys have any more questions real quick? Are you? Well, see, I keep looking at my phone because I had a list of questions.
That's usually how it goes in interviews too. I've done a couple interviews too, and you write down questions, and then once you get in there, it's just like everything completely changes, and you're like, "What? I had this whole thing. I had it all."
I had it all.
You just go with the flow. You're like, forget it. Like
it's better that way anyway. I feel like
it is. I feel like it's more organic. It's more natural. It's just better all around that way.
Did you ever play hockey, or is it just something that you like watching?
Oh, dude, no, I just like collecting jerseys. I played basketball and baseball.
Okay.
and football, but hockey was, I was poor as shit. My mom was not spending money on. If you know anything about hockey, it is the most expensive sport for a kid to be in. So my mom was like, "Nah, you're gonna play basketball." I'm like 6'4", so it'd be a disservice to my height, I think, if I didn't play basketball.
I didn't see my first hockey game until we lived in North Dakota, and it was.
Oh, well, you had UND, which is like one of the most. They're one of the best college hockey teams
It was an
in the country.
experience. It was. I will never forget. They were playing a rival game, so it was even more of an experience. And they started. Puck hit the ground. It went one direction. All of a sudden, they started fighting. Everybody started fighting, and then they all like the whistle blew, and then they went to throw the puck again, and then the goalies took off all their stuff, and everybody just started fighting.
You're like, what? I didn't know what the hell this is. I need to watch this more often.
WWE or what?
Oh yeah, for sure. Hockey is incredible.
From a football town, I'm like, what is this?
I said, what is this?
Dude, hockey is an experience. That is, I've never played, but I am a huge fan. It is an incredible sport.
So you said you played basketball?
I did basketball and baseball. That's what I mostly played at in high school. I can't say I was like the best athletic, but I definitely had a lot of fun, and I definitely enjoy sports. I still watch them avidly. So
I might have missed this question, but who is your like dream collab? Who do you want to collab with more than like?
Oh man,
Good one.
Dream collab. Oh man,
He's got a whole list.
For sure, because like there's so many different genres and artists. But I know it's like taboo to say because he's kind of under some fire. But Drake is still like one of my favorite artists of all time.
Yes.
As far as like R&B and rap skills, like he's always been one of my favorites. I used to just go by Faye when I was younger because of Drake, because Faye is my middle name too. So Drake is like his middle name. So I started like making music right when Drake started becoming popular when I was a kid. So he's always been my favorite. So that would be a really big one. But I would love to collab with Hayley Williams from Paramore. She's like one of my favorite songwriters, singers of all time. So I think that would be a really cool one too.
Oh, that would be a dope song.
She never does features ever. She did Airplanes with B.O.B. and like that was it. And I love that song. I think she should have did more collaborations with rappers. That would have been cool.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like of like her and like Call Me When You're Sober with like you with like like, that would be like some vibes like that. Yes,
for sure. I would love to do so. I've been kind of dabbling into a bunch of different genres as of late, as far as like what I've been making, not just rap. So there's a lot of artists on my list and bands that I would love to collaborate with. I'm not against collaborating with literally anybody. I just love making music, honestly, and I think the coolest stuff can come out of the most unexpected situations.
Absolutely.
That's true, though. That's so true. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite song that you've done so far? Like, personally, is there any songs that they kind of mean more than others?
For sure. A lot of the singles every song that I make, it comes from some certain place. I think Good is a really cool song because it was the first song I wrote when I was sober. And, it seems like just this kind of like generic, like I feel good song, but it really was like, it was a few weeks after I finally had gotten sober, and it was like, I felt good. I felt great about myself. And it was a really cool song to kind of, come out how I'm feeling. But there's a lot of deeper songs on my albums. Down for You or Down for Me is a really good one. Cause it tells a couple different perspectives of me and, kind of the people that I had wronged in my addiction that I didn't even know, my family and, people that I had neglected, and kind of coming to terms with, looking at myself in the mirror and realizing that there were issues and stuff that I pushed off. But I think every song is different. Some of them are just fun and braggadocious and typical rap music, and some of them are deep and they have a lot of meaning, or I'm writing a story about an experience that I'm you know, I've seen or whatever, but I think every song should mean something, you know. So I'm really proud of all of them, honestly.
I love when a song means something, you know, like it's not just a bunch of words you put together. It means something to you.
Yeah, I find that the best music is the one that is the most relatable, and
yeah, for sure,
so many people can relate to that. So that's pretty amazing.
Well, thank you. I think honestly, the what kind of helped me get a lot more buzz the last couple of years was being a lot more honest and, you know, being an open book about the stuff that I'm going through. And so I've been kind of doing that more in my music, but also in just my content. You know, a lot of the things that I like to do for videos is like I'll do a weekly like kind of update video where I'm just kind of talking to the camera, being kind of candid about stuff that I'm experiencing in my life and stuff like that, because I feel like, you know, if my story could help one person, that's cool with me. That's all I need to, you know, keep going and keep pushing.
I love it. How many years have you been sober now?
I am almost on 2 years.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. At the end of January, it'll be 2 years. So like a year and 3/4, something like that.
That's awesome.
Congrats.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
We definitely celebrate that over here.
It was not an easy thing to do. I definitely tried to quit a million times. You know, I think you just get tired of hitting the bottom so many times. And, you know, there's people that can do it responsibly and all that, and more power to them. But just for me in my situation, it was not good. So it's something I had to fix, and I'm glad that I did.
Well, I think it's also an inspiration because you see somebody who used to struggle with those personal addictions and problems and trauma and things that build that up, and you're able to see them come out on the other side. It's always nice to see that point of view versus the more sadder point of views that we see a lot. So yeah, I think it's awesome that you took that and turned your life around, you know, and you're showing people now, look, yes, I used to have that problem. Yes, things weren't always as green as we thought they were. But now I have something positive to show for it, you know?
Right.
I love that.
Thank you.
So what is next for Dakotah Faye?
That's a loaded question. You know, I have a hard time thinking about what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to finish this tour. You know, it's the same thing that I've always done. It's, you know, consistently just doing shows and doing, putting out music and promote myself and trying to figure out new ways to kind of get people's attention and throw stuff at the wall, basically. Just keep throwing shit at the wall, and hopefully one thing sticks. It seems like more things are sticking as of late. So obviously I feel like I'm finally on the right path. I got, you know, my brothers and my team around me that are kind of keeping me focused and making my life a lot easier and making everything in this train kind of move smoothly for us. So we got the right direction. We're just pushing forward. So more music, more shows, all that stuff.
And just in case anybody's wondering, you can get tickets for his shows in his bio on his TikTok. He's got everything on there, from merch to tickets to
tons of stuff. I try to make it as like I try to make it as like user friendly as possible. I try to, like, when I make it, I'm like, okay, imagine I'm someone that doesn't know how to work any of this stuff. Would I be able to navigate this menu and kind of figure it out? And hopefully I have. So yeah, in my bio on my Linktree, you can find all my music and tours and merch and all that kind of jazz.
You have some pretty cool merch with some pretty laughable lines though.
Thank you. I've kind of taken a lot of like these like moments in the past, you know, 6 months and tried to capitalize them and turn them into kind of merch and things that like my fans can kind of like hold on to, like the guest rapper thing and North Dakota doesn't exist and Only Faye and all this type of shit that I can kind of, you know, make people like more included on the joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I think it would be hilarious to show up to a show and see a bunch of Only Faye. It would be funny, but it would be so awesome in the same sense to see everybody with your merch on.
They've been selling like hotcakes, so you might get your wish here soon. I've been selling them like hotcakes.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Is there a show that you're particularly looking forward to soon? If you want to kind of give us some background on your tour.
Dude, tomorrow, I mean, the tour up till now has been, every show has been kind of its own experience. So we started in Duluth, Minnesota at this like weird cocktail bar. It was like this really like 50s kind of like lounge. It was cool. It shit ton of people showed up. We played with some EDM DJs, so it got buck wild. Next show we played was Grand Forks at Empire Theater, and they had my name on the marquee and shit. Like, looked so cool, you know what I mean? But it was a very like family kind of like show. There was tons of like older people and kids, so that was a cool experience. And then this last weekend was like the big North Dakota shows that I always do in Fargo and Bismarck, and we had great turnout, and that was incredible. And then tomorrow in Minneapolis, I'm thinking it's probably going to be the biggest show just because, you know, how big Sean is out there. And so I'm really excited for that one. And then next week, I got a show. We're doing back-to-back dates in Sioux City, Iowa, and then Omaha, Nebraska. And Sioux City, Iowa apparently has already sold like over 100 tickets. So that's sick.
That's awesome.
So I'm really excited for those two. And then I go on tour with Ritz in October. So that's going to be sick too.
So I guess I have one more question from that. So do you have a tour bus yet, or do you still got the van?
Oh, I got the fucking RAV4 packed with all four of us. Oh yeah, wait. I mean, a Sprinter van or something would be the next step.
Yeah.
When I get to that point, hopefully, I know the guys would love the leg room. So, but we're rocking with whatever vehicle we can at this point.
I feel like once you guys get to the point where you have these sold out arenas and stuff, you're going to be looking on that tour bus and you're like, man, we started from a RAV4.
Yeah.
we were knee to knee.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still times where, you know, we're doing these shows and, you know, it's four of us in 2 hotel rooms, or, you know what I mean? We're sleeping on the floors and we're just trying to make it work. You know what I mean? And that's like a lot of the shit that you don't see with independent artists is, you know, all of us crammed in a fucking car for 8 hours to go get paid a couple $100 and meet some new fans and sleep in a hotel room all together and fucking, but this is like the funnest times, you know what I mean? Getting to do it with my friends that I started out with, and we're all still doing it. And, yeah, it's the best. I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. So I'm glad I get to do it with those guys.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys have any more questions, maybe in the comments, or if one of you girls want to come off mute or anything, or you guys just want to talk about anything? That's cool.
Oh yeah,
we could talk.
With Ritz, are you coming to the South anywhere like Oklahoma, Texas?
No, I'm only doing 3 dates with him. I'm doing Colorado Springs, Rapid City, South Dakota, and then Minot, North Dakota. But I'm hoping that, you know, build a good relationship, get some good rapport with him, and, you know, next time he goes on tour, maybe he's like, hey, you want to come with me?
Yeah.
That's kind of what you work for, is the networking and trying to make a good impression. So
Are you coming to the South at all?
I go to Arizona quite often. Arizona is like the one market that I go to. And I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico this year. But I'll probably be at South by Southwest in Austin next year. That's in March, I think. So hopefully I'll be there, kind of get my foot in the door. But I got a buddy down in Dallas that wants to get me down there. So I think next year I'll try to orchestrate some stuff where I'll get around to that South and then connect it with my, you know, Arizona and New Mexico thing.
Ashley asked, are you coming to Seattle?
Seattle would be, I know that my buddy, so I played the Gathering of Nations, which is like the biggest powwow in the country. So I met a lot of Native American artists when I was down in Albuquerque, and I met this really incredible band, 1876, and they're from Portland, and they hit me up probably a week or 2 ago, and they want me to come out to Portland. So when I do that,
awesome.
I have a connect in Seattle. One of my producers, I'm going to try to make something happen to where I can kind of do Portland, Seattle, maybe do Montana, and then come back to North Dakota. So if I'm not in Seattle, I will be in Portland at some point next year, which I don't know how far that is, but Close-ish.
It's a ways.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I'll be in Seattle then.
You're gonna blow up. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm trying.
Yeah.
There's some people you just look at and you're like, okay, yeah, that they got it. Like, you know, and you're like, okay, let's just, your time's coming. Where's the, you know, let's watch for the moment.
Well, see, Ashley said that's only a few hours. See, to me, a few hour drive is nothing. I'm from Minot, North Dakota, where everything is 8 hours away. So a few hours ain't nothing. I'll do that easy.
In my sleep. Yeah.
In my sleep. I got to do 8 hours tomorrow morning.
Oh my goodness. Are y'all ready? You're packed? You're good? Like
No, not packed at all. That's something that I got to do. I'm pretty light though, so I'm not. It won't take me too long.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a lot of the questions that I had for you and stuff. I just wanted everybody to be able to kind of hear your story and know where to find your music, how to, you know, see you live, things like that. So if there's anything else that you want to add or anything, just open the floor up and whatever you want to do.
Well, I really appreciate you guys, like, you know, support me and, you know, it means a lot. It really does. So even to just talk to you guys and kind of tell you guys my story means a lot. And I really do appreciate you guys, you know, allowing me to yap for a while and tell my story and, you know, kind of connect a little bit more. So I would love to, you know, maybe make this a reoccurring thing and try to, you know, keep doing it. And that would be cool. You know, have a little therapy session with you guys every once in a while.
Sounds good. We could do that. Yeah, this is actually the first one I've done.
Well, I think you did a great job.
Thank you. You did as well. And these ladies are lovely. The ladies did amazing. You did amazing. But yeah, and if you ever want to like have friends kind of be able to share their stuff too, we'll gladly support that. Like just so we can kind of help all of each other, you know, get that music out and get it spread out. Make sure it's heard. So
I think that'd be a cool idea. We could kind of tag team some interviews and get some artists on here. That'd be a cool idea.
That would be dope. I would love that. That would be awesome.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. Let's go.
I would love to.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah, you got to make the graphics though.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, I would love to.
All right, bet.
And also, any new music too. I'm doing the content creating thing with travel and stuff. So I would love to just throw your songs on some.
Oh, absolutely.
Videos.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Doing
Free
some
reign.
amazing. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Kirsten?
Oh no, you guys go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, we're good. I'm good.
I was saying Nicole does some amazing transformations. You know, you got some remixes. You know,
I might got a couple tracks for you. Don't worry.
Transitions. Her transitions are amazing.
Yeah.
Bet. Duly noted.
And Billy likes to dance with me. She likes to. Me and Billy like to dance.
Let's go. Let's go. That's why I rap, so I don't have to dance.
I'm not.
We got our own issues over here. We're comfortable with now.
That's good. Dance the pain away.
Yeah,
that's what it's about.
Yeah. But I want to thank you for being on here and taking the time out of your night and your life to share everything with us. Because as much as, you know, I understand you're thankful for us, we're thankful for you being on here with us. And I would definitely be interested in doing some collabs for some lives, doing some things like this, bringing people on and just letting them be heard, you know, letting their story and their music speak.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
And then Sunday can do graphics.
Exactly.
Ashley said she's listening to your music right now, and it's dope.
Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that. She said she followed me too. I will follow you back. Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot. And I will be in Seattle at some point. I promise. I won't make it drive. Hopefully, I won't make it drive 3 hours. Yeah, I got you.
Texas and Oklahoma will be waiting on you.
Alabama. I don't know if you ever come down.
I've been to Louisiana and Florida, so that's, you know, now I just got to connect.
Yeah.
All right, bet. Now I got a whole list. I gotta
You got New York,
do
Virginia.
country ride. I'm gonna do the whole country next year. That's what it is.
Just pick one city out of every state and just pop up.
Yes, I got you. I'm on it. Right after this, I'm getting on it.
Just actually say roll tide roll.
Heck yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
I love that.
Well, I appreciate y'all. I should probably get to packing for my shows tomorrow.
Well, have a good show.